Hey everybody, this is Ivan and welcome to a special audio cast. Now, yes, this is an special audio cast because this is actually something special. Now, today we are actually discussing about one service which I'm going to give a honest review. Okay, I'm not going to brag that this is the best or some sort. Of course, we're actually going to take a look and deep dive into those features. And today we are going to be discussing about Buy Me a Coffee. Now, you may have been wondering, what on earth is Buy Me a Coffee? How does it actually work? So, okay, let's begin. So, um, Buy Me a Coffee is basically how am I gonna put this? Well, let's say that you are one going on a coffee shop, okay, and so basically, you went to the cashier and then say, hey, can I get a coffee? And then sure, and then there's the receipt, and then and at the same time you also tip the waiter, um, or someone who serves you coffee how much, and then basically that's basically how it is. It's basically like tipping someone for their hard work. So if in real life you buy coffee, then not only you pay for it, but you also tip because of the hard work. Say in the service itself, you basically going to tips a content creator for doing their hard work, doing whatever they decide, whatever they do. Okay, now I'm not going to like go into specifics, but it goes for every video creator, every content creator, gamer, or maybe charity, nonprofit, animator, whatever it is, you are actually welcome. So um now let's discuss about what exactly are the features of Buy Me a Coffee, because many people are actually um probably don't know what it is, what exactly is in store for Buy Me a Coffee. Now, okay, so here's exactly all the features for Buy Me a Coffee. Now, Buy Me a Coffee is basically sort of an alternative to Patreon, Kifo, or any other service that relate to like Patreon, because Patreon is like one of the biggest service when it comes to content creator subscriptions. Okay, we also have YouTube memberships, which basically is integrated to YouTube, in which basically you have some perks, and then you basically get everything every single month, which basically what YouTube and Patreon does. But what basically is Buy Me a Coffee. Now, I'm not going to go into like any comparison. We're just gonna talk about the whole Buy Me a Coffee itself and what exactly am I going to think of it. So, okay, so now what am I going to base on is from a page on Buy Me a Coffee, which they discuss about the features in comparison with Patreon or Coffee. But for this reason, we are only going to discuss about Buy Me a Coffee itself. No competitor will be invited here. Just Buy Me a Coffee itself, and we're actually going to discuss it. So, okay, let's start with memberships. As you know, there are a ton of memberships, tons of services that offer memberships. Patreon is monthly, YouTube is also monthly, whatever memberships or some other courses is good for monthly or yearly. Okay, with Buy Me a Coffee, they offer monthly memberships, which is nice. But what's interesting now is that I'm not going to do any competition from some sources, but for some, and we can't believe this, they also offered a yearly membership as well. Okay, now you may be wondering, well, that is insane. And yes, but here's what's interesting, why yearly memberships is important. You see, with yearly memberships, let's say you actually like let's say you go I'm going to give an example. Google One. Okay, basically Google One is basically a membership for all Google, in which you basically go to upgrade your storage for that specific price. Now, basically, what I'm paying for right now is the 100 gigabyte, and I didn't pay monthly, which is possibly some dollars. I pay much, but it's a yearly one. But with the yearly one, you basically save money for the particular thing. So you're basically saving another month or so for free, which basically is buy me a coffee. Is basically with a yearly membership, you save, you help someone save cash. You basically give someone free months. Like I remember, I actually signed up to some to a website builder in which they also offer like only paid, which is monthly and yearly. But with yearly, you get too much free, which I was surprised. So basically, when I saw Buy Me a Coffee also offered this, this may be a chance. So content creators, if you're planning to do yearly, then there you go. Now, honestly, Patreon and YouTube memberships and other stuff only offer monthly so far. But if they actually do yearly, then in the future, then we'll be guided. Okay. So next, donations and tips. Well, not as much. Okay, not as much as we want to compare someone. Yes, this is basically like anything. Like when you actually going to donate someone on PayPal and everything, it's basically like the same thing. So basically like, hey, if you wanna tip me, yep, there you go. So basically, Buy Me Coffee also has some tips or donations to be exact. Now, what's interesting is that you can do you can accept payment methods, which we're actually going to go here right now. So how the donations works is that, well, you can actually accept credit cards or PayPal. But what's interesting is that they also accept mobile payments like Apple Pay and Google Pay, which at first I thought like they can do that. Surprisingly, I tried once and then it actually worked. Like there was a sign that say pay with Google Pay. I was like, oh my, this is like I had no idea what, but this is actually awesome. Like if you at some reason if you have a payment method saved and secured by the way on your mobile, on your Google Pay or Apple Pay, you can actually just get your Apple Pay or Google Pay, just tap it, and then there you go. You actually pay. Like you don't even need to like type your card number and everything, or no, all this type stuff. However, unless there is some verification, mostly the security codes and everything. But yep. Okay, so that's those. Next, sell extras. Now, this is something I've never seen before. Okay, don't get me wrong. Patreon, YouTube, whatever, they also offer extras as well, but not something because for those memberships you basically get like sometimes for other perks you basically get an extra bonus thing, or for some other offers basically you get an extra thing, something you never offered before but you're going to offer them for like a limited time, or maybe for other stores you're basically going to offer that extra and everything. Okay, now don't get me wrong, but basically that's how it goes. But Buy Me a Coffee, um it's it's very much interesting because they offer extras integrated into one page. Seriously, they already integrated into one page. They already had it for you. So basically you have a page, you had a support page, you had everything. Basically you can actually put extras all on one page. So basically all your payment methods are acceptable on the extras section. Now what extras can you do? Well, everything. You can do PDFs, digital, physical, or maybe you even can offer manuals or access to some Discord servers. Anything, whatever you desire, it's your choice. Okay, so those are some extras. Now, okay, now finally, we're gonna talk about how you actually pay. Now, this is where, as of this point, I really wish I shouldn't compare, but I did. So yep, I definitely should have thought that. Basically, I did research a lot. However, the plan actually was, first of all, not to compare anyone. But as to this point, I kind of compared anyone, but yeah, we had no choice. So, okay, this is interesting because if you are on YouTube or Patreon, basically when you actually going to sign up for a plan for your content creator subscription, you basically had to log in for that particular thing, which actually is a good idea because how would you actually going to like to make sure that you are actually the right person? So basically, Patreon or YouTube or whatever service you are want to talk about, basically they have this thing, okay, which they check like, oh, is this a member? Yes. Is this a patron? Yes. If so, then yep, he is allowed to actually check access perks, check those posts, etc., etc. Okay. Now buy me a coffee. Interestingly, no account required. I am very serious. Now, this one actually gave me a concern because, okay, I am okay if it's a donations or tips. I mean, you don't need, you actually don't need an account. Good thing they actually had donations and tips, one-time donations. So actually, that's out the window. I'm okay with that. But at some point, they also do memberships of monthly and yearly. That's something I definitely had no idea because the reason why the accounts actually was in the first place is because to make sure like everything is improper, everything is correctly placed and everything. We're not even sure how it's gonna go to in if you don't have an account. Um, but I think maybe you had to actually sign up or something. I don't know. Um, please let me know. Please correct me in the comments how it basically goes because I'm actually confused about this part. Maybe what they're saying is that one type payment only, where you only do for donations and memberships. Oh no, for one-time donations only. But you actually need an account if you are going to like go to the membership phase. Okay, so just let me all know. Okay, you can correct me at any time. Okay, so in other words, not much else. Analytics, there's also public posts like others, and then there's live chat. But if you thought we were done, we actually had two more. But this is very special compared to other people because, oh, we definitely were surprised by this. Now, okay, now first we need to talk about fees. Now, sure, a lot of people do fees, etc. So that's out the window. But according to Buy My Coffee, they only do 5% of all features from all of the one-time donations to everything, memberships and extras and everything. But here is where the payouts actually gets interesting. Now, we need to discuss about how Patreon or YouTube actually works, okay? They had like a set time period where you actually had to wait. So it's like holding the payment until when it's ready to be paid. Which, okay, okay, so like to make sure like everything's all set up, to make sure it's all set, it's all ready to go. No one is, and the reason for that is that to make sure like no one's going to like charge back and everything. With this one, instantly on Buy Me a Coffee. Yup, instantly on Buy Me a Coffee. Now, okay, I'm not gonna lie. The positives of this, well, it's instantly. It's like, okay, we're actually going to do this. But the drawback of this is that we're not even sure if there's going to be chargebacks, okay? Now, I had no idea about refund policies, But but how it works that basically there's no refunds or anything. Okay, as far as I would have known. Okay, because well, as far as I can tell, Patreons and YouTube memberships um and this one will probably won't have a refund policy. The only exception, by the way, is YouTube memberships, which only each one a refund during the post memberships. As far as I can tell, but otherwise, yep, there will be possibly no refunds. Okay, and with that, that's basically buy me a coffee. Now, what was it actually good enough for you to choose buy me a coffee? After all, you get monthly and yearly membership, whatever you wanted, one-time donations, an instant payout, a special fan experience where you do not need an account to donate everything. You even can sell extras. Was it actually worth joining Buy Me a Coffee? Well, actually, yes. Actually, because okay, now let's face it, like this way, like okay, we really don't want to make any competition back, but for the other competitors, they only offer like monthly fees. They only offer other plans. Some offer like almost none. It's like going to the membership, get those perks. Here you go. Like that's it for some competitors. For Buy Me a Coffee, this is actually special because well, you basically go well as far as I can actually aware. Well, basically you have it. Like okay, you can sell extras whenever you want. You can do a one-time donation. You can do memberships. There you go. There you go. And we're all constantly also updating, which is one thing much like any other. So yeah, if you actually wanted to use Buy Me a Coffee, then go for it. Okay, go to buymeacoffee.com if you want to join. Then that is really all right. Now and with that, I want to thank you guys for listening. Now, before I actually go, now I do have a Buy Me a Coffee page. Actually, okay. By the time we're also recording this audio now, the reason why is that because we're also wanting to like test it out also. So, like if you would have thought that I am just going to review this, that's it. Okay, then afterwards I'm not going to use it again. No, I'm also going to be recording this experience. You might also going to follow me on other social medias. What do I think of it? Is it actually worth it? Then time will tell. Let's see how it goes. But otherwise, there will be a second link where you can learn more about me, everything you want to help. There's going to be a link down below. But with that, I want to thank you guys so much for listening. If you did, make sure to smash the like button. Don't forget to click the subscribe button, turn on notifications. Don't forget to check out Buy Me a Coffee if you want to see if it's actually worth it, or you want to learn more other features, or you want to check out what's the comparison to other competitors, which I already did, even though I really wish I shouldn't. But yeah, otherwise, hopefully you all had a nice day. God bless, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Thanks, everybody.